Hello, everyone. Welcome to Gaming with a Dad. I'm the dad, Steve.
Who?
This is Zach, the gamer.
You use that controller, Steve. Thanks everybody for watching. So we had a little bit of a homework assignment. I think one of us did it, one of us did not. Would you like me to? Would you like me to save one and link it to you so you could have as your own, or would you like me to?
No, actually, it's pretty funny. I thought I didn't do it, but I remember I had a budget build from one of my favorite retailers that I had been working on for a friend of mine, and I still have that, and I think it serves as a good Christmas build. So you just go ahead and go first.
So I have two price points, right? I have your kid just graduated college and he likes computers, $1,000 build, right? Nothing crazy. I have more than that in this room right now. And I have your kid is getting into PC gaming and he wants to learn how to build his own, a $542 computer. What would you like me to start with?
Let's start with the $542. I gotta hear this.
$542, Steve.
This is case included, power supply?
Case, power supply, no OS, no monitor, no keyboards.
Okay.
Ryzen 5 2600.
Woo.
$110 on Amazon. Perfect. Hyper 212 Evo. It's a golden standard in air cooling. I got a Gigabyte Micro ATX motherboard for $60. Gigabyte's a good company. It's a little small, not much room for expansion, but we still managed to fit in 16 gigs of RAM for the same price as the motherboard. We did not go an SSD. We went a 1 terabyte standard mechanical drive. We went with a 1050 Ti, a 4 gig 1050 Ti, so the most expensive piece in the entire build.
Right. A
Rosewill Ranger M micro ATX mini tower, so it's going to be a small computer. Okay. And a Corsair CXM 550 watt power supply.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
The GPU there, is he going to be able, I know that he is, but is he going to be able to play AAA games?
So this is for the person who is just getting into PC gaming, wants to play Counter-Strike, wants to play Overwatch, wants to play League, wants to play Fortnite. Right. This is the perfect build for those games. You're going to run those games, what we call the esports games, right? It's going to run those games. It's going to have no issues. You're going to be able to play Rainbow on it, right? You're going to be able to play all of the games that your 12-year-old wants to be able to play. That was the build here. That was the idea for this build.
That's a good build.
Was your 12-year-old that wants to get into PC games, you're not really sure if he's going to want it or not. So that's the build that I did. $542.81. That is after the $30 mail-in rebate.
Sir, that build you just designed right there, the one you just talked about, you could literally put that together for someone that needs it today.
Yes,
that's a good build.
I think this is a build. It's not going to last. It's not going to last you the next 6 years, right? No. But that's not the idea here. This is this is your 12-year-old. He's just getting into it. He wants to play Fortnite with his friends, right? They're all on PC because they're cooler than he is. And this is where we want to start. This is a very, very good starting computer.
It's a very competent build.
This might be stronger than my starting computer. I don't know if I'd be willing to admit that, but for the time, definitely not.
Wait, well, give me the specs on your starting computer.
i7 2700K and a 570 with 16 gigs of RAM.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad. Paid for it all myself.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. This is the $542 build. This is a very good build.
Let me hear your balls to the wall build you got there.
This isn't even a balls to the wall build. This is what I would consider a mid-grade build. Right?
Really?
So this is $1,000. Balls to the wall, I'd probably put another $500. Probably maybe $1,000 on this. Right? I can make you a balls to the wall build while you're talking if you'd like, but so I went with the Ryzen 7 2700X. Again, a Hyper 212 Evo. Didn't think there was a need to step up to a water cooler here. Right. I went with an Asus ROG Strix B450 board. Again, stayed 16 gigs of RAM, slightly more expensive, slightly higher clock speed. We went with a 500 gig SSD and a terabyte regular mechanical drive.
Okay.
We went with a 2060. We went with a mid-sized tower by Fantex. It's a P300. It's a very standard tower. And we went with a 650
It's a nice tower.
It's just it's clean, right? It's all I went for. I
Yeah.
went with clean, and we went for a 650 watt Corsair power supply. I trust Corsair power supplies. I've used them a bunch, so that's where we sit with this board. This one, it's way better, I think. You know, you're going up from a 1050 Ti to was it 1050 or 1550 Ti? Hold on, a 1050 Ti. We're going from a 1050 Ti to a 2060. They're worlds different. One gives you ray tracing, one does not. We step into the 8-core processor. That is, oh, I just, oh, hold on. Here we go, I got it back. I thought I closed out of my page because I've been clicking back and forth. We step into an overclockable Ryzen 7 at 8 cores instead of 6. We step into a very nice motherboard in this ROG Strix, which is incredible on $110. I think you should look at this one. We get
a He doesn't know what he's saying about you, you big bitch.
We step into a solid state drive, which is a massive improvement over just a standard mechanical drive, and it's big enough to put games on.
Right.
And we have that terabyte there as a backup, bigger case, and a just faster RAM. So we went from a 2400 megahertz RAM to 3200. So we stepped way up in that. It's the next logical step.
All right. I've got one build, right? But I'm going to call this the people's build. We're just talking about enthusiast and then room for upgrading. All right? So my build is based in that demographic.
Okay.
It's not for your 14-year-old kid. This is for the 38-year-old. I mean, this is for the 20-year-old man about to step into some serious PC gaming, but wants to leave himself a little, or he or she wants to leave themselves a little bit more, upgrade. Yeah. Well, we got to speak the truth here. I'm gonna give you I got to give you the price point first, right?
Okay, give me the price point.
But just remember that any of the prices for these devices that I'm going to give you, you can sell and get a good chance, get a little bit of money back on them. So total, my device came out to $997.93.
Okay.
You ready? That's without the case, though.
1,000? No, you got to put a case in there. Add 50.
Right.
Add $50 for the case.
We'll add $50 for the case. All right. So here's what I got. Right. We're gonna start with the actual GPU. I'm gonna say the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2060 Super, 8 gigabytes of VRAM there.
You spent most of your budget on that graphics card.
Right there. Most of the budget on the graphic card. Gone on the graphic card. But someone told me once, you buy it right once, so you don't have to buy it twice. So I buy into that.
Sounds like a really smart person.
Then we're gonna go with the AMD Ryzen 3600 6-core 3.6 gigahertz desktop processor. We're gonna come in for
which Ryzen was it? I'm sorry.
3600.
Okay. It's a little upgrade over what mine had. Okay.
Yeah. So you're definitely you get a multi-core thread count there. It's going to be able to handle more than just playing games. If for some reason our builder starts thinking they're going to be doing some workstation type stuff like rendering videos, they got a processor that will be able to handle that for the most part, depending on how heavy your workload gets.
Okay.
We're going to keep it budget with the MSI B450 Tomahawk, first gen, because you can update your BIOS to use that CPU and still get a lot of good functionality out of it.
Okay.
Then we're going to move on to 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance RAM clocked at 3.0 gigahertz. Ryzen likes fast RAM. You're still getting some decent speeds out of that. We're going to go Corsair 750 because why not just buy right the first time? Right?
Yes,
just get the
I
750
agree.
at $77.92. Just buy it. You cannot go wrong, dude.
Go wrong.
This is where we start leaving this kind of the enthusiast level. I would tell a person, hey, if you're going to spend $60 on an SSD for a 250 gig boot drive, why not just go ahead and get yourself a 970 Evo Plus, which surprisingly enough at 250 gigs is priced at $74.9.
There you go.
And
the
you
970 is an M.2?
Yep.
Does that board have M.2 support?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I like the compatibility check.
Yep, and then you're going to have faster load times, faster boot times for sure, and if you upgrade that, but for the most part, you won't have to worry about that because you'll install most of your games on the Seagate Firecuda 2 terabyte internal. That's hybrid.
Correct. So
It's
it
a
has
hybrid
a
drive.
solid state drive cache with regular mechanical drive base storage.
Correct. And it was originally $99, but it dropped down to $93.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
the savings. I like the savings. I like that sale right there. That's what we're looking
But
for.
here's the thing. So you build yourself this system with a decent case. It's going to come with the stock cooler for the CPU. The case is going to come with the stock coolers,
That's where you
the
lose
stock
me.
fans.
No,
That's
the
where I'm
stock
going to lose them.
CPU cooler is where you lose me.
Listen, I have a stock CPU cooler.
I know.
And,
A Hyper
I'm doing
212
pretty
Evo
good.
is $32.
it's a good point. It's a good point.
So just throwing that out there. $35. You get yourself a Hyper 212 Evo. You have, one 120 millimeter rad style water cooling built right in. Boom, done. GG.
What about good game? What about the people who are a little paranoid about the water cooling?
This isn't water cooling. That's what I said. That's why I said a Hyper 212 Evo. It's air cooling.
Oh, okay. It's air cooling. Okay.
Correct.
Well,
It's not a Corsair H100i.
but wait. Hold on. We got to be fair, right? So we're not talking about a filthy Intel CPU that comes with that shitty little cooler. AMD does a really good job.
One is okay.
If they provide a decent stock cooler for
Yeah,
their
I would
CPUs.
still prefer to upgrade your thermal paste and upgrade your cooler over it, but that's just me. Not like I've been building computers for 10 years.
You're 16 years old, dude. How could you be?
Whoa. I'm 18.
But-
Leave me alone.
Here's the thing. My build is definitely going to suit the guy who's doing a little graphic design, playing video games on the weekend, and it's an investment that they can stand by. Not
Sure.
taking a shot at for what I've given a person. I'm like, hey, this is going to be the computer you're probably going to use for the next 6 years or so until you
Yeah.
need to make a drastic upgrade.
So my $1,000 build was right. I think right in with yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the $500 build.
Interesting.
That's the one. That's the one that appeals to me because now we're getting into dangerous territory here, right? Someone can kick in your door any second now because what else costs $500? Your typical console, and we're looking at next.
Yeah,
we're getting
there
into
you
next
go.
gen. We're getting into next gen console, season here. We got Google Stadia looming in the background like the giant that it is,
It's
getting
not a
ready to
giant.
pounce.
Flopping.
It's flopping bad. But here's the problem, right? There's always going to be that one thing with consoles that people really enjoy, the exclusive games that at this point, you just can't get on PC, man. You can't get them.
Which ones?
God of War, man. You can't
It's
get God of War.
only the PlayStation, dude.
It's only the PlayStation.
It's only the PlayStation. That's
you're
it.
You're so angry at Sony.
No, I'm not. Come on, dude. That's being not fair.
Do you think they'll ever get to the place where they'll revisit the Steam machine?
No. You know what? I don't think there will be. I really don't. But yeah, I just don't think the Steam machine was worth it because Steam Big Picture Mode is actually garbage and Steam OS is even worse. So yeah, I mean, I think this was an interesting topic. It actually made me think about how I was going to be able to get a $550 computer.
Yeah.
If you really wanted to, you could definitely buy used parts. Right. This is the one area that
where it's at.
yeah, you could probably get a used 1070 for $170 and you bump your graphics card way up over it. After the Bitcoining thing, I don't really recommend buying a used graphics card, but used RAM you can get for way cheaper, used case you can get for pennies. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do a budget build of $550, if you want all new, this is great. This is actually a really good PC for $550. I would be happy to use this every day. But if you wanted something a little bit better, you throw your hand in the used market. And you know what? Mileage may vary. If you live near a major metropolitan area, you're going to get way better prices. But,
Yeah.
we're going to see. Do you want my balls to the wall build? It took me about 3 seconds to build it. This is the absolute
Let's
crazy.
go.
Do you want the price first?
Give me the price first, man.
$2,161. $2,161. i9 9900K, even though you know that I don't really like that processor very much, but I do have to admit that it's fairly nice.
If it doesn't blow up.
It does not blow up, especially under the Corsair H100i.
Plug to the sponsor.
Socketed in an Asus ROG Strix. I love it. I have this board myself, the Z390E. I put 32 gigs of RAM in here at 3200 megahertz. There is a 1 terabyte 970 Evo and a 1 terabyte 860 Evo for all of your storage needs. And the piece de resistance is the 2080, the RTX 2080. Actually, way cheaper than I thought it was going to be, $623.99. We put it in a Lian Li PC case because why not put your PC in the best possible PC case? I think Lian Li makes the best product. And you put yourself down there with an 850 watt gold certified EVGA Supernova, which is an amazing, amazing power supply for $150. So
That is really good.
here we are. That is the $2,100 PC, $2,200 PC. 3 very different setups, 3 very different price points. You know what? If your kids get into PC gaming this year, you know, they're just want to play Fortnite with their friends, they want to play, you know, Counter-Strike with their friends, that $542 PC really is the way to go, I think. I wouldn't spend any more than that.
You know what? In that 4 gigabyte GPU on that $500 bill, it's probably going to get away with playing some games at low.
Yeah,
Some of the
or
AAA
medium,
games,
dude. I wouldn't
medium,
discredit it that much. The 1050 is a 1050 Ti is a pretty stout card. It'll get you away with a lot of things. You can play medium to low on some things for sure, but
Yeah.
it'll get you away with a lot of stuff. So this doesn't include a monitor. Really, my recommendation for monitor for any of these builds is 144 hertz. I have an Asus 248, like or something like that. And I love my monitor, so I would get something along that. Maybe for the high end build, I might do a 1440p, maybe slightly bigger, maybe 27-inch 1440p, 144 hertz. But that would be the only way I would go different than what I have right now.
Yeah, I'm digging my 144 hertz monitor. Did you see that video with Shroud and all these guys going up to Linus?
I have not watched that yet. Please do not ruin it for me. I know you're
Oh,
you're a
okay.
video ruiner.